The Saints did something nobody saw coming this offseason. They rebuilt their entire offensive identity in 3 months while keeping every single coach in the building. Tyler Shough finished second in Offensive Rookie of the Year, voting after taking over in Week 9. And now he walks into year 2 with a brand new arsenal nobody else has assembled. A top 8 pick at receiver, a 4-year veteran running back from Louisiana coming home, an elite trait guard locked into left guard for $61 million, and a rookie deep threat the FCS world has been screaming about for 2 straight seasons. One of these weapons will outproduce his draft slot in a way nobody is forecasting yet, and the name surprises everybody watching. Look at what Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore pieced together in 8 weeks of free agency. Jordan Tyson at the 8th overall pick brought 2,282 career receiving yards out of Arizona State, 22 touchdowns, and back-to-back All-American honors. Travis Etienne Jr. signed for 4 years and $52 million, a Louisiana native finally coming home, while David Edwards locked into the left guard spot and Noah Fant added at tight end alongside Juwan Johnson and rookie Oscar Delp out of Georgia. Kristen Miller got drafted in round 2 to anchor an interior run defense already finishing inside the top 5 last year, and then a draft day trade nobody is unpacking properly delivered one single deal with the power to swing the entire edge rotation for years. The reveal hits hard once you see the price tag and the name attached. The defense held its core intact through every move. Brandon Staley enters year 2 with Chase Young coming off a 10-sack season, Brian Breesy developing inside, and Carl Granderson holding down the edge, while Justin Reed, Jonas Sanker, and Julian Blackman all return at safety, and Kool-Aid McKinstry gets a chance to bounce back at corner. The roster runs deeper than it has in 5 years, and the offseason looks almost too clean. One division rival has spent millions chasing what New Orleans built without breaking the bank, and the NFC South has never looked more vulnerable. The schedule sets up beautifully, and one specific division rival should be terrified heading into Week 1. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Saints and all the NFL content. Can we hit 500 likes for Saints? Last year, Tyler Shough was the question mark. This year, he is the answer. He took over the starting job in Week 9 after Spencer Rattler struggled, and from there, he stacked one of the most productive rookie quarterback finishes in recent Saints history. Second place Offensive Rookie of the Year. Voting tells you the floor. The ceiling is the part nobody is forecasting properly, because he keeps the same offensive coordinator, the same head coach, the same quarterbacks coach, and the same tight ends coach for the second straight season. Continuity at this level is rare for a young quarterback in this league, and the Saints gave him every advantage available. The arsenal around him looks unrecognizable. Chris Olave plays on his 5th-year option with extension talks circling for months. Jordan Tyson arrives as the highest drafted Saints receiver since 1978, and Travis Etienne Jr. brings 1,399 yards from scrimmage and 13 touchdowns from his last full year in Jacksonville. Devon Vele returns after a 4-game stretch, where he led the Saints in receiving production. Noah Fant adds 2 tight end versatility next to Juwan Johnson, and the offensive line returns 4 starters, while adding an elite trait left guard. Tyler Shough has every supporting piece a young quarterback dreams about. The fit with Kellen Moore's scheme is the part people miss. Kellen Moore comes from the Eagles' offense, where he ran point on a Super Bowl winning attack the year before, and he builds around play action, motion-heavy concepts, and downfield rhythm throws. Tyler Shough has the arm strength to push the ball 40 yards down the field with anticipation, the mobility to extend plays, and the chemistry building with Chris Olave the entire offseason program. The pairing of a young quarterback with an aggressive scheme and continuity in the building is the exact formula leading to second-year breakouts in this league. The numbers will follow if the offensive line holds up, and the offensive line is the single biggest reason year 2 looks different from year 1. The Saints' offensive line was a disaster zone for half of last season. Eric McCoy missed extended time, the left guard spot turned into a revolving door, and the pressure rate climbed every week. New Orleans walked into this offseason knowing the trenches needed an overhaul, and the front office spent real money fixing the problem. David Edwards signed a 4-year deal worth up to $61 million with $45 million guaranteed, having started for the Bills the past 2 seasons and graded out as one of the top run-blocking guards in football. Kelvin Banks, Jr. enters year 2 at left tackle off a strong rookie finish. Taliese Fuaga anchors the right side, Eric McCoy returns healthy, and Cesar Ruiz stays at right guard. The starting 5 is the deepest configuration the Saints have rolled out in 3 years. The defensive line story is just as compelling. Brandon Staley runs the show for year 2 after a strong finish to 2025. Chase Young posted 10 sacks last season and stepped into a vocal leadership role this offseason. And Brian Bresee enters year 4, hunting the breakout campaign Pro Football Focus keeps projecting. Carl Granderson holds down the opposite edge, while Davon Godchaux rotates inside. The bones of an above-average front are already in place, and the run defense finished the season, ranked inside the top 5 in EPA per play. The addition of Christian Miller at the 42nd overall pick is the move tying the entire group together. He played 4 years at Georgia, racked up 11.5 tackles for loss across his career, and brings 6'3" and 321 pounds of interior anchor to the rotation, pairing perfectly with Brian Bresee to form a young, athletic interior duo for the next 4 years. The depth behind him includes Vernon Broughton, the 2025 third-rounder coming back from a hip injury, plus the re-signed John Ridgeway. The trenches on both sides of the football look stronger than they have in years, and the deep ball renaissance everyone is sleeping on connects directly to the line play, giving Tyler Shuck time to push downfield. Here's the stat nobody is talking about. After Rashid Shaheed got traded to Seattle in early November, the Saints offense ran one of the worst vertical passing attacks in the entire league for the back half of last season. The deep ball became a forgotten play. Go routes barely existed, and Tyler Shuck had the arm talent to push the ball 40 yards down the field, but no consistent vertical threat outside of Chris Olave, who battled drops on multiple deep targets. The identity went stale fast, and the offense suffered for it. This offseason flipped the script overnight. Jordan Tyson runs a clean 4.440 and tested with elite separation grades at Arizona State, giving the Saints a true field stretcher who already pairs with Chris Olave in 3 receiver looks, while Devon Vele returns at 6'4" with the contested catch profile to win on back shoulder fades. The room looks completely different from how it finished last year. And then comes the addition setting the entire offseason, apart from any other team in the conference. Bryce Lance is the rookie unlocking the deep ball nobody is forecasting. He ran a 4.34 at the combine, posted a 99 athleticism score and a 9.98 relative athletic score, and tied the Missouri Valley single-season record with 17 receiving touchdowns in 2024. He came back in 2025 and averaged 21 and 2 yards per catch, 6th in the entire FCS, while logging 51 catches for 1,079 yards and 8 scores. Stack the workout numbers next to the production, and you have the rare combination of testing and tape lining up. The Saints landed him at pick 136. Pro Football Focus ranked him 62nd on their entire big board, and the value gap alone makes the pick a steal. The reason he matters more than anyone is forecasting comes from the way Tyler Shuck loves to throw the ball, and the full 8-pick draft class pieces fit together once you see the entire board. The full Saints draft class deserves a piece-by-piece breakdown because every selection plugged into a defined need. Jordan Tyson at the 8th overall pick gives Tyler Shuck a true number 1 option after putting up 75 catches for 1,101 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2024, then fighting through injury in 2025 and still posting 61 catches for 711 yards and 8 scores in 9 games. His brother Jaylon Tyson plays in the NBA for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the clutch DNA runs in the bloodline. Kristen Miller at 42 locks in the run-stuffing interior. Oscar Delp at 73 brings 4.49, speed at 6'5", and gives Kellen Moore the two tight end weapon he loves. And Jeremiah Wright at 132 adds Auburn-tested guard depth. Then comes the resolution to the question planted earlier. Bryce Lance at 136 is the rookie primed to outproduce his draft slot in a way nobody is forecasting. He is the brother of Trey Lance, the third overall pick in the 2021 draft. He ran a 4.34 with a 41.5-inch vertical and an 11'1" broad jump, and he finished his college career third on the North Dakota State all-time list with 25 touchdown receptions and 8th with 2,157 receiving yards. The athletic profile pairs with the production in a way few mid-round picks ever do. Lorenzo Styles Jr. at 172 brings positional flexibility from Ohio State after switching from receiver to defensive back, with his father having played linebacker for Ohio State and won Super Bowl 34 with the Rams. Barian Brown at 190 brings 4.27 speed and one of the most electrifying kick return skill sets in college football, with 6 career return touchdowns at Kentucky and LSU. TJ Hall at 219 out of Iowa rounds out the class as a high football IQ corner with 10 pass breakups last season. 8 picks, 9 new players counting Tyree Wilson, and the trade everyone is sleeping on shifts the entire defensive ceiling for 2026. Step back from the Saints roster for a moment and look at the NFC South in 2026. The division has never looked more vulnerable for a team built like this one. Atlanta carries genuine quarterback uncertainty heading into the season, with Michael Penix Jr. now the starter and a defense losing key contributors in free agency. Tampa Bay returns Baker Mayfield, but rolls out one of the oldest rosters in the conference, and the offensive line has lost continuity. Carolina sits 1 or 2 years away from real contention with Bryce Young still building toward consistency. The schedule lines up beautifully because of the 4th place finish from last season, and Saints fans should look closely at the strength of schedule projections circulating around the league. New Orleans drew one of the friendlier slates in the entire conference based on opponent win percentage from 2025, with 2 games against Atlanta, 2 games against Tampa Bay, and 2 games against Carolina. 6 division games against opponents with question marks at quarterback or talent gaps elsewhere. The opportunity to bank early wins against the South is sitting wide open for a Saints team built to maximize health and continuity. The defensive matchups matter too. Brandon Staley has spent years drawing up plans against Baker Mayfield, going back to his time with the Chargers. Chase Young racked up career production lining up against the Falcons' offensive tackle group, and Kool-Aid McKinstry profiles as the type of physical corner who frustrates Bryce Young specifically. The personnel mismatches are real, the schedule is friendly, and the Saints rebuilt their offensive line in the same offseason where 2 division rivals lost theirs. The window in this division is wide open right now. The question is which team grabs it, and one Saints offseason move still hangs unfinished, while the answer to that one decision shifts the entire ceiling of this defense. The Saints made the most underrated move of the entire draft weekend, and almost nobody is talking about it correctly. They sent the 150th overall pick to the Las Vegas Raiders and got back Tyree Wilson plus the 219th overall selection, which they used on TJ Hall. Tyree Wilson was the 7th overall pick of the 2023 draft, 6'5" and 263 pounds. A Texas Tech alumnus with 12 career sacks across 3 Raiders seasons in a system never figuring out how to use him. The Saints essentially bought a former top 10 pick for the price of a 5th-round selection. Here's the part nobody is connecting. Bo Davis runs the defensive line, and his track record is the most impressive resurrection resume in the league. He took Cam Jordan from a 6-sack year and pushed him to 10.5 last season, and he took Chase Young off a quiet stretch with the Niners and helped him hit the 10-sack mark for the first time since his Defensive Rookie of the Year season. Brandon Staley layers the defensive scheme around clear edge rusher roles, and Tyree Wilson improved his pressure rate every single season in Las Vegas, climbing from 8.1% as a rookie to 12.3% in 2025. The traits are real, the development was the issue, and New Orleans is the perfect environment to fix it. Which brings the Cam Jordan decision into focus. He sits unsigned. In early May, with options on the table, having led the Saints with 10.5 sacks last year, he is the franchise sack leader with 132 career takedowns, an 8-time Pro Bowler, and the locker room voice the rookie edge group needs. The arrival of Tyree Wilson and the signing of Anfernee Jennings does not close the door. It opens the chance for Cam Jordan to come back in a rotational role at a number making sense for both sides. The mentor he becomes for Tyree Wilson alone justifies the contract. The Saints' defense reaches its real ceiling only with him in the building, and the front office knows it. Here's the bold prediction for 2026. The New Orleans Saints win 10 games and take the NFC South outright. Write it down. Send the clip to your group chat. Tyler Shuck finishes inside the top 15 in passer rating in his first full season. Jordan Tyson finishes the year as a finalist for Offensive Rookie of the Year, joining the same conversation his quarterback owned 12 months earlier. And Bryce Lance posts 5 touchdown catches while emerging as the most efficient deep threat in football on a yards per route run basis. The Falcons watch a division they thought belonged to them slip away by week 15. The case rests on 3 pillars sitting in plain sight. Coaching continuity is the cheat code in this league, and the Saints kept every meaningful voice in the building. The roster reload across the offensive line, the running back room, the receiver core, and the interior defensive line addressed every weakness from last year. The schedule rewards a team built to stay healthy and play in the trenches, with 6 division games against opponents stuck answering quarterback or talent questions. Combine the 3, and you have the formula for a 14-place jump in the standings, which is exactly the type of leap teams in this exact spot have made in this exact league multiple times in recent memory. The work is far from finished. Cam Jordan still needs to be in this locker room. Chris Olave still needs his extension done, and Alvin Kamara still needs a cap-friendly restructure. The front office has every reason to finalize each piece in the next 60 days, and the path to a deep January run runs straight through those 3 decisions. Drop your division record prediction below and stick around, because the next breakdown digs into the Buccaneers roster nobody is checking on. Subscribe for the rest of the offseason coverage rolling out daily on this channel. The black and gold are coming, the noise is back in the Superdome, and the rest of the NFC South should be very afraid of what Kellen Moore built in 8 quiet weeks of work.